This is Bronte, my 1996 Stewart and Stevenson M1079. Really, all that means it's retired American military. With the help of some friends, I've been turning this into my dream rig.
Holy crap, I've got water.
Every project is incredibly intimidating, especially when you've never done it before. Electrical was the gremlin that gave me nightmares, and plumbing was the devil under the bed. Because I plan on off-roading this truck way more than your typical van, I knew that I wanted something that was going to have a very small chance of coming apart. Which that, in my mind, took out Shark Bite, because that is removable. And then PEX B, if I'm going to do anything, expansion and grip force to me is far better than gripping. Step one of PEX A is this incredibly expensive tool, the PEX Expander. Now, I'm a Facebook Marketplace lover. I'm not going to buy this for $500-600 like it is new. I have waited for the last 3 months, checking every day. Finally found one for $225, which was, well, the price that I wanted to pay. So, did not want to go with the manual one. I've heard leaking afterwards because you got to rotate as you do it. And because I'm a beginner, I do want it to be as easy as possible, but still on a little bit of a budget. So, first thing I'm going to do is I install what's called a water box. It's a company, Motorcraft development out of the UK. It has been my favorite expedition truck supplier. Windows, doors, things like that. But what they have, which is super unique, is their external water locker. Now, inside here, it's completely sealed. It houses, well, let me just show you. We have the filter coming in from the water tank that's on the inside. We have the accumulator, water pump, shut-off valve, and then small little filter. Inside here, we also have hot and cold shower, fill port, and relief valve, or relief. So any excess water gets dumped into here, and this is separate from the inside of the truck. I wanted to keep water separate from anything that's going to be electrical. First thing that we're going to have to fit is from Motorcraft. They have these quick neck style fittings right there. So this is going to be the start of my PEX A system. Then I plan on running it all the way down the back. Alright, let's get started. I went with a company called PEX Universe for everything that I bought, other than some pieces at Home Depot today, because it was easier to get it there than have it shipped. The reason why I went with this company was, for a while, I was looking for a PEX A manifold in copper with shutoff valves. I did not think that was going to be such a hard thing to find. I think this is it. Let's see. Reveal time. Ooh, knife. Wow, yeah. Is this the part that I want it to be? Focus here instead. Don't even need the knife. Yes, it is. Glorious. Okay. So, this is a full copper manifold. Shut-off valves on every single, so I can do zones. I have a Shark Bite for this side. That'll go into 3/4, and all this is 25%. That's a pretty nice piece of kit. They were the only ones that I could find that had something like this, which to me is surprising. I thought this would have been a pretty easy find. But this is going to be the hot water. I have 4 zones. Let's put this down the side. Throw this into trash. And then this must be this one. And this is I believe I got a 6 zone. Oh, beautiful. Now, these right here, I am going to run my water. Here's my tank, the water locker I showed you outside. I'm going to run the water all the way here. My water tank hot water tank is down there, and this will be mounted right here. Easily accessible. How good is that? That's what I like to see. So, Shark Bite is on this one already. I just put it on. Extremely simple. Let's move some things out of the way. Try and do this one-handed. So all I did was pull it down, lock it into place, which I'll do a second check before using this because obviously I'm with one hand. But now I'll be able to put the 3/4 pecs right onto these. Oh yeah, baby. First step done. That way I can go ahead and get started with this. Oh, baby doll. Okay, which means now I can go ahead and start doing the rest of the system. Woohoo! The reason why I went with PEX A instead of PEX B or anything else is pretty simple. It's more or less permanent. So what you have is this little plastic doodad. It's actually pretty impressive. By putting this over the top of the PEX and using the PEX tool to expand it, once it's on the fitting, it is always clamping down. So because I plan on off-roading pretty vigorously in this massive freaking truck, I want something that's not going to come loose. Now, I have shark bites at the places, if I ever want to take off the water heater or certain things, I have shark bites there. But for the rest of it, we're going PEX A, baby. That permanent attribution is absolutely, in my mind, the best way to do this. The clamps, cool, whatever. We have the cut piece of PEX. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it in the shark bite fitting. Now that that is in, I'm going to take the PEX expansion tool. And then put in I am a man who loves his sails. I am extremely patient. I've been doing this product over the last 4 years, saving up. I originally had a Bosch water heater, but with the new design inside the truck, I wasn't able to use that anymore because it was too tall. So, right when I figured it out, Isotemp was having a sale. This is one of their, I believe it's 5-gallon tanks. Got it for like 40% off. These things are so expensive, but really excited. It's going to be going right underneath the dishwasher. So right now I am test fitting the Isotemp, and my retaining wall right here bumps into the back. I'd like to move this over just a little bit. So what I'm going to do is loosen the 80/20 or loosen the 10 series aluminum, move it over just a little bit. That way I have more room to get it in and make it easier for all of the PEX to get to the water heater. So now I'm able to back this up quite a few inches. The PEX will come down right here. Much better fitment. So here is where the water manifolds are going to mount to. I just cut out a piece of Baltic birch, painted it. Now it's time to drill some holes. So to get hot water as quickly as possible and to not waste any water, I am building a manifold system. So instead of a T system where you just have one line and then T's that go to all the appliances, everything will be right here. And then I have a shutoff valve. So if anything goes wrong, I can shut off absolutely every single part of the truck. I went with something like this because instead of having to drain the whole system to get hot water, all I have to do is do one line. So let's just say outdoor shower, indoor shower, water filter, sink, dishwasher, washing machine, and then water heater. That way, everything is all nice. I think this looks so badass. So it's on a bushing system on the top. There's a thicker and smaller one. You can choose which side that you want it on. Depends on spacing. I have my cold water on top, and this is basically in line with where the inlet is coming in from into the manifold, which is 3/4. All of this is 1/2 inch. I wanted the edges to be the same, and then this is going to route to the water heater, and I wanted it to go on the outside. So the next thing to do is just mount this onto the wall and then run the PEX line into there. So again, I find myself as a big man in a tiny little cabinet. So what I'm thinking is I'm going to bolt one side to the extruded aluminum and then the other side to the wood. That way not all the weight is on the wood. Basically just have to get this. Yeah, that looks good. Okay. And the smaller the fingers you have, the easier all of this is. So if you have a friend with small fingers or a girlfriend helping you with a build, this is when they're really going to shine. Got myself a little bit of that orange good. Just gonna put a dab. I really don't want this moving for fair reason. Okay. Ooh. This will not be going anywhere. Now I'll bolt this side in. And I'm also not going to be putting a lot of weight here, which is the good thing. I didn't want all the weight on this piece of wood, because as I off-road and it shakes, that could pull loose. Whereas this, we are bolted in now. This isn't going anywhere. I'm lining this all up. This is before. Would you ever put this into plywood? Am I being an absolute and total idiot right now, or is this like autistic greatness? Oh. Come on. Yeah, and that back wall is getting covered up, so I just... That's exactly what I want. Haley, back in the cabinet of love. I got the PEX. Just a hair too long to get this in. I guess I'll just remove this. I'm sweaty! I'm hot! Oh. Jesus. Are you kidding me? That is perfection. There we go. Nice tight lines gonna be behind the cabinets. Don't worry, I'm gonna strap everything down. But we've got the cold line done. So, camera died while I was filming, but did not stop because I was in that zone. So we've got hot water heater, shower. This will be sink and drinkable water. Then we have bathroom. This will be... the only other thing is outdoor shower, and then this will be if I ever add anything else. And then down here, we've got shower, and then same thing that I just set up here in that same order. Some of the things that I did off camera, just because the camera was dead, was I've got my water filter. This one's UV. This is going to be for the drinking water. Everything in this truck is already filtered before it gets here. And I'm also going to have a filter before the actual tank. So this is just extra precaution. I don't want to be sick. And it is plumbed in right here. It's going to be to the sink line and to the dishwasher. I decided to do this one as one run. This is basically the only thing that's going to have extra nozzles. But as you can see, that is the extension for it. And then this is going up into the dishwasher room. Or sorry, the washing machine. And then that sink that's going to be right up here where all of this mess is. Probably the biggest point of anxiety on the build so far is the water tank, which I did not test before installing it. And it's built completely around all of my extruded aluminum. Or the aluminum is built completely around the water tank. So if there is a leak, I'm going to have to remove everything. I'm using these kind of rubber push fittings, which came with my tank from a company called Trionic, seems like. First step is going to be for the water outlet. This will go to my water pump, 1/4-inch saw. So I've already put where I want it. It's going to go right here. That way, it'll go straight up into this 90-degree arm. And then the flow, I will wrap around it. Nice, straight, no kinks, good pressure. There we go. Oh, that was much harder than I thought it was going to be. I guess my hole saw is made for metal, but still, I have my first hole, and now I need to figure out how to get that piece out. Aha! Gonna hit them with just to clean up the edges. So it sticks perfectly. Woo! Two down. Oh. Well, that's in. Now let's do this piece. And then the final piece will be this one. That's going to be tight. So I just put the hose for the inlet. I haven't turned the water on yet, but we've got the excess pressure release. We've got the inlet, no kinks, and we've got from bottom of the water tank up into the system. So I'm going to fill about, I'm going to guess about a quarter of my tank right now, see if anything leaks. I wanted this to hit the bottom on both sides, but I was about 1 inch too short, so I pulled a little from here. Now I have it here. So it's looking pretty good, and then I'll hook up the shower in the back at one point. I have the 3/4 PEX that's going to be my inlet into the water pump. Before, you could just move it. Now, this is going to be basically the max vibration while driving, which to me, perfectly acceptable. And here's that outdoor shower right there in the back. Excuse the middle finger because fuck all this. So, super happy. This took way more time than I wanted to. Oh, final thing. Last piece of ADD. I designed the retaining wall to fit these two pieces of PEX, and I am so happy with how this turned out. I've got a little Russian flag underneath the floor. There's no better time to test the water than right now. So the only thing that I have hooked up that would allow me to release any of the pressure is the outdoor shower, which is dangling right there. Everything is labeled, everything is off, other than that outdoor shower. So I'm gonna turn on the water pump, open up that line, and see how all this goes. I'm really hoping it's gonna be a good time. So there's the water pump. You can hear the water pump. Nothing so far. Back to my OnlyFans bullshit of wearing no shirt while I'm working. Okay, I was way too annoyed after that water pump issue to want to record anything. But now I've cooled down, I've calmed. I think I've addressed the situation. So, it's not as pretty as it was before, but I've had to reroute this line to be the one for the pickup for the tank, and then this line to be the one that goes to the rest of the system. So there's a lot more piping than there was beforehand, but I've just completed putting everything on. I've got my shower right here, and I'm going to go ahead and try the water pump again. So I'm hoping that oh, I can definitely hear water going through the system. I'm letting the air out of here. No leaks so far. Oh.
Holy crap, I've got water.
I can feel it filling up this manifold. Okay. Let's see. Dry as a bone. Dry as a bone. Dry as a bone. That's what I like to see. Okay. I've just been at work for about 45 minutes. I've set to max temp on here. Let's see. 3, 4, 5. Oh my god. Ow! I got hot water! You can see the steam! Hold on. Oh, that is... The truck has hot water!